If people in Gaza really wanted to make peace with Israelis, would you support it? Would you
Yes,
make
of
peace?
course.
Okay.
Yes, of course. We want peace.
Okay. The question was, if there was willingness from people in Gaza to live with Israel and to have peace with Israel, do you think Israelis would agree to it?
I think most Israelis would agree, but have major differences with any plan that you would suggest them. I think
Such as? We'll give examples.
If you say that it's on the basis of exchanging territories, then always someone will have a problem with the territories being exchanged, and if it will be something more normative, then still normative issues will rise. I think, yeah, probably, yeah, but with some kind of
disagreement.
Disagreement. Yeah.
Okay, so but you're saying that with discussions, if there was belief that people, this is the central question, if there was belief that that people in Gaza really wanted to have peace with Israelis.
Yeah, I'm sure that the interest will be met.
Okay, now the other thing that comes up from this, as you said, is that the peace that Gazans want and the peace that Israelis want are very different types of peace. So, for example, people in Gaza who came from Ashkelon, who came from Jaffa, they want to go back, and Israelis would say no. So, what do you think could be done about something like that?
I think there should be some kind of encouragement of extra territorial bodies that will harness the interests of both people to such an extent that they will have more benefit of cooperating than strifing or...
Okay, so you're saying make the benefit of, let's say, economic peace more obvious than let's say the benefit of moving back to Jaffa.
Yeah, sure.
If people in Gaza made more, they wanted peace and they showed Israelis that they wanted peace.
Okay.
Do you think you would want to make peace with them?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that people in Gaza, they don't show that enough?
I think the people, the civilian people can show nothing, and the only people who show something, it's Hamas, and Hamas don't want peace.
Okay. The people in Gaza really wanted peace. If.
This I don't know.
Okay, no, I'm not asking if. I'm saying if they really did, and they made more voice for peace, would you be willing to make peace with people in Gaza? And do you think Israelis would?
To tell the truth, I don't know about any politics, so...
No, you yourself.
Me? Sure, I will probably make the peace with maybe the people, the citizens, but maybe get rid of the bad guys.
Question is about Gaza. If the people of Gaza, let's say, were open to making peace with Israelis, do you think Israelis would be willing to make peace with them?
Most of Israelis, probably.
Okay.
I think the question is relevant because most of the people in Gaza vote for Hamas in the last election. And if you vote for Hamas, you don't want peace with Israel. So this is my answer.
In my opinion, it's very individual because in Israel there's a conflict between Arabs and Israelis. And many times you can see Israelis and Arabs live together. And many Israelis will say we don't want peace with Gaza because of the conflict in Israel. We have a negative opinion about them. So it's very individual. Like people who don't have conflicts, like I said, I'm from Nazareth Elite, and it's about 50-50 Arabs, Israelis, and like 50-50 Arabs and Jews. And there are many conflicts between the two. So if you ask someone from Nazareth Elite, is saying no to peace.
Okay, but if you heard, let's say you heard more voices from Gaza saying yes, we want peace.
Yes, of course.
I don't think this is the situation.
No, I'm asking if.
You're
asking if
our opinion or the general opinion in Israel?
Your opinion, and what do you think other Israelis would think?
I think 90% of the Israeli will say that they want peace if the other side will want
We
peace.
truly want peace.
Okay.
I don't think most of Israelis will believe the people from Gaza as they honestly say they want peace. That's the problem. But if everyone assumed that the Gaza people really and truly and honestly want peace, most of the Israelis will probably
Okay, so
want
that leads. Okay, you bring up a good point because that leads to the second part. That if, let's say, the peace of Gaza, peace to them means returning to Ashkelon, Jaffa, wherever they're from. To Israelis, that means the opposite of peace, right?
The answer is
that different.
my opinion.
So the question is there room for compromise?
Okay, we return a lot of space in the south, if you know, איך אומרים התנתקות באנגלית?
Yeah, the going out of Gaza.
Yeah, and you see the situation is.
But they're going to say,
I think there is no end for returning.
no, it's not returning space. They're saying, I come from Ashkelon, I come from Jaffa. I want to go back to my house in Jaffa, which doesn't exist, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, they can
But
come,
the question
they can
is,
come in, if they will respect the government in here and the laws, and they will be like me and him, like a civilian in
Israel. You see, if you ask an Israeli civilian, Arab Israeli civilian, if he'll prefer to live in Gaza or in Israel, most of them will obviously say we prefer to live in Israel because the Israeli government is a democratic government which gives them many benefits. Besides, you see, Israeli government really treats them democratically like they treat the Jewish people in Israel. And you see, however, you see the Hamas treating the Arab people not that well, like Israel. So if you ask the average person if he'll prefer to live in Israel or in Gaza under Arab government or Israeli government, most of them will say we prefer to live under Israeli government.
okay, so if their idea of peace is going back to Ashkelon, and you got to go. Okay, anything else you want to say? No, I got to go.
All right. You can ask my one question.
I think
Their idea of peace, but their idea of peace is coming back.
The Israeli law and the Israeli government and live peacefully in the Israeli.
Give him last question so we can all answer. What's
Okay,
the last question?
well, that was it. If they want to come back and live under Israeli rule, and then there are some there who say no, it has to be all Palestinian, meaning Jews live here, we get it, but this is Palestine. We need to rule.
We need one government. We need one
Jewish
united
government. You see, there are many Arab governments around the world.
So when you say one government, you're talking about the government we have, the type of government we have now, from the Knesset, mostly are Jews.
And if they want to come and live here with us in peace, under the Israeli government, they are welcome.
Okay,
This is not
even if it's about 1 million people, because
Even if
that's
it's about
kind
1
of
million people, because 1 million people means more taxes, means the level of life.
If they will work, they will donate to the country, to the economics and everything, just like every Israeli civilian, or even better.
okay.
Better for some.
They can get education and contribute to the country.
But then they become 50%, 60% of the population. So there's no more Jewish government. There's a mixed government.
Hypothetically, if we live in peace, that doesn't even matter. What matters is the government will be Jewish, because Jewish government is known to be democratic and respectful to everyone.
Wait, you're giving me mixed ideas here. If let's say they all return. Let's pretend we have this situation. They all return. Take 1 second. They all return. The Knesset becomes 60% Arab. 60% of the Knesset becomes Arab. 70%. Doesn't matter.
If this Knesset
So what government exactly? So if they then and Hamas ends up being in a democracy, Hamas gets elected. They're the government.
Most of the people in Israel, in that case, they don't want this kind of situation in the government. Like you say, like 60% Arab and 40% left Jewish in
Okay.
the government. Most of the people, Israeli, if you will ask them, they won't agree to this kind of situation here.
Okay. But they would agree if it's 49% Arab and 51% Jews, as long as the Jews control. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
as long as the government is controlled by Jews, because
Why? Okay, now is the why. You said partially. Why?
The country.
Because
You
you
have to
can't
define
see-
the country.
Okay.
About the nation that control here or everything that connect to it.
Okay.
Israel, if you can see in the declare of the country, it's a Jewish state.
Actually, doesn't say that, but doesn't it?
It's a
Oh no,
Jewish
sorry, it doesn't say democratic. Never mind.
Jewish state.
It does say Jewish state. You're right.
Jewish, Israeli Jews.
So if you say like 60% of the government will be Arabs, it's not.
it's not a Jewish
It's
state
one-
anymore.
So why is that explained? Because you're talking to me, I understand, but people here don't. Why is that? So okay, so
Because
it's
experience teaches that Arab government don't treat their people well. You can see it from Iran to Gaza, all over the world, that there's only hate and violence there. And it's like it's the only language that they understand, hate and violence. We don't want that language here. And we know that we can see from our experience that the Israeli government treats us respectfully and democratically, each and every person. Doesn't matter if he's Arab or Israeli or Jewish, doesn't matter who he is. Under that experience, I would prefer to live under Israeli government, Israeli Jewish government.
Everyone would think like that.
Even if you ask an Arab person, he will prefer to live under Israeli Jewish government than under
Yeah, I don't share.
what?
I don't share about the last sentence.
You don't think that's
Even
true?
Arab will prefer.
Will agree to live under
If you'll go to the Golan right now and you'll ask an Arab person, would you prefer the Golan to be returned to Syria and you'll be controlled by Assad? What do you think he'll say? Will he prefer to live under the violence that's ruling Syria right now, or he will prefer to live in Israel in the terms right now? Even he's a minority in Israel, he'll prefer to live in Israel because it's a democratic country that doesn't kill its own people.
It's more
It's more complicated than it sounds.
than
It's a conversation for
yeah for
more than 10 minutes,
at least
that's
than
for sure.
an hour, but